which can be found in our portal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer Manirul Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, let us start the presentation. As we do not have physical presence, I request you to prepare your questions while listening to the speeches and send them to us via messages. That will save time in our question and answer sections. Now we have our guest speakers, Barrister Tania Amir, constitutional expert and lawyer of Egypt, to make her presentation on human rights violations.
We can see the video now. Video.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. We will have the video presentation regarding.
I will do the video presentation. Sorry for the interruption, Tania. Can I share the video now?
Hello.
Can I share the video?
Yes, please. So we will have the video.
Toward the world and the nation of reform scheme, where inclusivity and equality, let alone fundamental human rights, would be upheld. All these tall claims were made during a speech by Yunus on August 8th upon his return to Bangladesh before taking.
I'm still having some difficulty. I don't know why. Dr. Farjana, we can go for the speakers, please.
Okay. So now we have our guest speaker, Barrister Tania Amir, constitutional expert and lawyer, to make her presentation on human rights and the fundamental after registration.
Thank you, Dr. Fazana. Can everyone hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Milat. I congratulate the organizers for organizing something of this magnitude. I know people are there from all over the world.
Yeah, we can't see
and a very...
We can't see you.
Yeah, we can see you. And please expand the screen.
I'm afraid that's the best I can do because I'm not on my laptop. I'm outside. So a happy greetings from a sunny afternoon from London, but the topic that we're going to talk about perhaps is not so sunny. After the regime took over, one of the first things the regime did was to introduce an indemnity by virtue of which the killings that took place, cases has been filed against journalists and lawyers, while convicts, terrorists from the jail have been released. So space is being made in the jails, and there lawyers and journalists, human rights activists are being put in, which is very, very disturbing. Thereafter, we saw a wave of atrocities against the minorities, dargahs and shrines, lalun activities, cultural activists, and thereafter a wave of violence and rape against women. So it's a reign of terror and chaos that's prevailing in Bangladesh at the moment. Against this backdrop, I welcome the human rights initiative that this organization has taken, and I wish the very best to this organization, because the birth of Bangladesh was predicated upon observation of human rights. We are the first country which exercised our right of self-determination. And on 10th of April 1971, as we emerged as a sovereign nation, we made our allegiance to the Charter of United Nations, and as a member of the family of nations to observe the duties that devolve upon us. So it is our duty and obligation to observe the human rights. What is interesting here, that while a lot of these people are saying it's mob justice, but what is interesting is that they're not really mobs, because people who are perpetrating or giving leadership to this, they're known faces. And the government is giving a kind of an impunity to the offenders. Private property is also not safe. In their social media, Facebook, they're declaring that they're about to attack, including Road 32, Baitul Aman, and various other private properties, and they're going and looting. And what is the government doing? Absolutely nothing. So this impunity is unacceptable, and this gives rise to a secondary question. Are these atrocities, therefore, aided and abetted by the government, or is it sponsored by the government? When Dr. Yunus took power, he alleged and asserted that his employers were the students. So it begs the question, is he going soft on these students and their coordinators? Does he feel obliged to them? Yet, he is supposed to be representing the entire country and particularly the law-abiding citizens. Instead of protecting the law-abiding citizens, is there a kind of impunity being given to the offenders instead? So those are the questions I pose. I don't have the answers. And this organization, I hope, will be able to delve into it and provide us with materials and documents which will help us to come to conclusions and establish liability. But so far, prima facie, it seems apparent that the inaction of the government is unbearable. The silence of Dr. Yunus